have from Brazil. I actually wanted to film this live, like over there where you can see the favelas, but it's just started raining. So we're filming it like in this little gym bit. I'm kind of getting wet, kind of not. I've got a coffee and it's 5:45. I went for a run today. I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Today's kind of just been like a chill day because Carnival really took it out of me. Like, I literally sent it so hard for Carnival. I was like, I spent a lot of money to be here for Carnival. And I don't know, I love a good party. So Carnival was just my vibe. Just some people were like, oh, after 1 or 2 blockos, I was bored. I was like, I don't know who you guys were with, but like, I was having the time of my life every blocko. Anyway, I'm just going to get straight into it because I actually got so many questions. I put up like 2 question boxes, like over like 4 days, and I got a lot of questions. So let's get straight into it. Oh, it's really coming down. Right, screenshots. Media type, screenshots. Just make sure my camera doesn't get wet. So you can see these are all the questions I got. Let's start with the first. This is from Antonio PFG. You have plans to living in Brazil. I would love to live in Brazil, but first I need to work on my Portuguese. Also, I really hope this microphone's working. I really need to work on my Portuguese, but also I have been living overseas for 10 years, and if you guys have been following my journey, you'll know that I left London in November to be closer to my dad because he's not at the best health at the moment. So no, I won't be living in Brazil for the next year, but there's definitely potential to live in it in the future because I love it here. But for now, I enjoyed, but maybe in the future, but for now I need to go back and be with my dad because that was the whole reason I left London. And so many people on my social media be like, oh my God, she's extending her holiday 3 or 4 times. Like, she doesn't care about her dad. I care so much about my dad. I actually left a lot of my career and my dreams and my ambitions in London in 2025 when all my social media was popping in London. And I made a YouTube video about it, being like how hard it was to make that decision to leave London, because now that I've left London, there's not really an easy way for me to go back because, oh my God, 68 people. An easy way to go back because of the visa situation. So I'm enjoying Brazil, and I actually, yeah, in the future there is a potential for me to move here, but maybe if I get a karaoke boyfriend or something. But guys, it's raining right now, but Rio's vibes are immaculate. Okay, we just got a whole lot of people on the live. Hello everyone. Hello from, is that Colombia or Venezuela? Hello from Italy. Hello, hello, hello. Guys, I'll show you my view. Because we are living right now. We're in Brazil. How do I reverse? It's so exciting to have you guys all on here. I have so many questions to get through, so I'm going to keep going. So yes, there is plans for me to live in Brazil, but not for now. I've been living overseas for 10 years and it's time for me to go be close to my dad for a couple of years. I also want to build an online business and have full remote online income so that traveling is just like something I can do so easily, because I'm kind of halfway there right now with my influencing, but I'm not fully there. So your brows are so perfectly shaped. Thank you. I haven't had them done in so long. So thank you. Looks like a favela. Yeah, the favela is there. I'm in the favela. How do you stay fit while traveling? Beyond your morning runs, what can you recommend? That is from Soph.Kazari. So I actually have been going to the gym for 10 years, lifting weights, eating protein, and built like a really good physique. The more muscle mass you have, the more you can eat and kind of not lose your shape. I have barely lost my shape. I've lost like size on my glutes, but when you have like a lot of muscle mass, like it's like, don't want to say it's hard to lose, but like once you have it, like, and once I go back to Australia and get back into the gym, my physique will just like come back within a month. Everything I say to everybody, if you're trying to get a good physique, oh my God, I'm literally getting drenched, is you just consistency. Like, I didn't expect to be in South America for 4 months, and when I hit like the 3-week mark and I was looking to extend, I was like, okay, Lindsay, you need to go like start exercising again. It's consistency. I'm not running every day, but I'm running 3 times a week. That's better than just doing like one big hike a month. It's better to be like doing consistently. Are you single? Yes, I'm single. Black and yellow. You in the favelas? Yes, I'm in the favelas. So yeah. So that's how. Also, I always prioritize protein intake. So I buy protein powder when I'm traveling, and I always have protein powder like with me, because when you're traveling, it's really hard to hit your protein goals. And so if you just get protein in the morning, that's at least 1 serving. And then usually when I'm traveling, I only either have like 1 meal just because I'm busy or I'm touristing, or you know what I mean? But at least I've got 1 protein intake in. Are you in Rio? Guys, we're still in Rio. It's pouring rain right now though, but I went for a run and I feel good. Kenna times Havanas. That's from Lucas Cadino01. So Kenna sandals are what all the Krias wear. Oh my gosh, every time I like see a Kria like favela guy, like look down at his shoes and he's wearing these, like they look like dad sandals. They're not attractive at all, but every single hard Kria has them. My friend took me on like a hike to Brothers and he told me about it, and honestly ever since I cannot stop seeing them. I am Havana's girl though. Havana's. They're so cheap here as well, so I'm going to buy heaps and take them back for my family. Hey girl, is Brazil safe to travel as a solo female traveler? This is from Laura Gibson. So I know I've got so many questions about this, and I'm actually just going to do like a huge YouTube series when I get back to Australia, because I think a lot of people are getting angry because I'm portraying on social media like Brazil isn't like, Brazil is so safe, like come here. Like I've traveled solo for 3 years, so I am very wise, I'm very smart, and I'm sort of like street smart. Brazil is not as bad as people say online. I think that's what I'm trying to say is, yes, it's dangerous, but dangerous enough for you not to come visit? No. Also, like as a solo traveling girl, like I feel like I am very switched on, and when you travel solo as a girl, I feel like you have your guard up 20 times more than if you were in a group with girls. Does that make sense? I feel like groups of girls almost get targeted more because you're not as scared because you're on your own. But when I'm on my own, I'm very like scanning. Like today I was on a run and this guy like was giving me like really weird energy. I thought, this is weird. I was getting a coconut. He was like looking at me, but he wasn't looking at me as in like, oh, she's vlogging. He was looking at me as if he was like, it was really weird. And as he left, I was like looking. So you're always like, I feel like on your guard when you're solo, which makes you more proactive, like you're ready for things to happen. Whereas I feel like maybe when you're in a group of girls, you're a bit more chilled because you've got other girls with you. I feel like when I am on my own, I am very like, someone, when I was at the Samba Drone, came up behind me to say, oh my God, I love your content. And my first reaction was I snatched my phone and like pulled it in. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, it's just reactions. Like when you're traveling solo, like you're very on your guard. So yes, it's dangerous, but you just got to be street smart and sort of like talk to the locals and get to know the locals and get to know the areas. And yeah, it helps if you speak Portuguese. I don't, I'm trying to learn, but there's just some things in life that is hard. Languages is just not my thing. Hi from South Carolina. Listen to Old Boy. If you're not replying to comment, I will just leave. I'm also into content creation. Please support. Leave the favela and go to Boisas and El Grande. I've been to El Grande. I actually did not love El Grande. It was okay, but not my fave. Do you speak Portuguese? I don't speak English, so I don't understand what you're saying. I think I'm going to start watching Love Island in Portuguese so I can learn how to flirt. Okay, let's go on to the next question. I don't want to make this super long, so when will you come to Sao Paulo? That is from Kia. I'm actually going to Sao Paulo for 1 day. I have a really long layover, so I'm actually going up north with the karaoke guy, and then his flight sold out and I wanted to travel with him, so I booked the same flight as him, but to get the same flight I had to take a 1 day layover in Sao Paulo. So I think I'm just going to get into Sao Paulo at 6 a.m, like just leave the airport and like go explore Sao Paulo. Oh my god, it's raining so much. Because I don't know, Sao Paulo is not really high on my list. People tell me it's not that good and like it's not really my vibe. There's like a lot of restaurants and shopping, and like I honestly am a beach gal. I love to go running, surfing, wakeboarding, paddleboarding, tan. Like Rio is where it's at. Okay, next question. Okay, but in Italian, you don't look like you can think. Are we getting some haters in the comments? Alright, how many hearts have you stolen so far in the trip? That's from adrian.deco. Honestly, I think the guys have stolen my heart, if I'm honest. I was not expecting the Brazilians to be like as good as they are, but they're like so much fun and they're such a vibe. And they're different from the Brazilians that travel. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's really coming in now. They're like... The Brazilians that travel are like different to the ones that are like from Rio. Okay, we're here. Let me get a sip of my coffee. Where is my coffee? Oh, yeah. Love my coffee. So yeah, I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think the Brazilian guys are good at not giving their heart away, as opposed to me. I've been really good this trip actually, because I know how Brazilian men were, so I was very like on my guard. All right, we're gonna bust through these questions. Thank you so much for all the questions though, guys. Any scam experience in Brazil? Haha. Oh, this is a good question. From Jonna Tusf. I only had one scam experience, and it was actually my kind of own fault because I knew they do this, but in the favela there is motor taxis and you can also order motor Ubers on the Uber app. But I was trying to go to a tour in Ursinha and I wanted to take the motor Uber. I didn't want to take a car because I was just like, oh, that's boring. I always get content on the motor Uber. And it was like a super busy day. I think it was like a day after Carnival, so there was so many people wanting to do tourist stuff. So I went down to the bottom of the favela and I was like to the guys, Quanto, to like take me to Rocinha. And the favela guys are known for being more expensive. And so they quoted me 100 reais. How do you say it? 100 reais. 100 Brazilian reais. And I was like, no, 60. He's like, no, 80. I was like, no, I think we got to 70. And I was like, 70, fine. A car was like 40. I was like, whatever. And then they were like, cash. I said no, because it cost me a lot to get cash out on my card. I do have cash with me, but I like to use it in only certain situations where there isn't card as an option, and card is very much an option in Brazil. And so then his friend was like, oh, if you're going to do card, like tap on my friend's phone. And because I was in such a hurry to get to this tour, I just tapped, but I didn't look at what he charged me. And he charged me 80 instead of what we agreed, which was like 60. And so then I was on the motor Uber with him and I was like, excuse me, like you charged me more than you agreed on, da-da-da-da. He's like, oh, I think it was because of like the credit card machine, like markup and stuff. And I was like, So that was like the only time. But every time, even when I go out to restaurants, even when I go to like shops, I'm always, because they go like this with the machine and they just get you to tap it, like this is the part, but they don't show you it. So I will purposely put my like face over and be like, what are you charging me? Because there are some crazy stories of tourists coming here this summer and someone like almost got charged like 3 million like lies. So that's the only scam. I'm, like I said, I've traveled here solo. I am smart, and that was the only thing, and it was like an extra £4, so we weren't crying over it. Come to Sao Paulo before leaving Brazil. That's from Augusto Pinca. So I am there in about a week for 1 day. Come to New York City from LGTM11. Been to New York City twice. I love it. I would love to go back, but America is very expensive. And I feel like I need to start seeing other places that I like want to see, because coming to Brazil now I'm like, oh my god, I want to come back to Brazil. You know, I feel like there might be other places out there that are better suited to me. So I've been to New York, I love it, but like I need to go see other places. Where are you from? From Jew.pub. So I think everyone gets confused because I speak about Australia a lot is because I left New Zealand on my 18th birthday and I'm 27. So I'm actually from New Zealand. My whole childhood was in New Zealand. I only left New Zealand on my 18th birthday. I moved to Australia. Australia is the best country ever. It's safe. You make great money, great weather, and it's just like its own little bubble. The only disadvantage is it's its own little bubble and you kind of are like spoiled and like you don't really know how good you have it unless you travel. Like I've come to Brazil and I'm very grateful for like the opportunities I have in Australia and stuff like that. But yeah, Australia, I talk about Australia a lot is because I've lived in UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and I mean I'm doing 4 months in Brazil, so I can say Australia hands down is the best. Okay, next slide. Is this the next one? We got so many questions, guys, so thank you so much. Come to Nederoy too. I've heard that. Oh my god, that's from my follower who won the helicopter tour from Lewis. We love Lewis. I did a helicopter giveaway to see over Rio, and that was Lewis. It was his birthday and he got to see Rio from the sky, and that was like the most heartwarming thing I've ever done, like seeing him like see his own city from the sky and me just coming as a tourist and easily being able to like do that. Like it really like opened my eyes that like how like grateful I am to have the opportunities I have in my own country. So it was nice to like give back. Are you considering to start an OF? Never, so move on. Where did you stay in Rio? Can you vlog the space and how you found it? From Marie Durada Persa. So I will have all my YouTube vlogs coming out. Hopefully when I get back to Sydney. I'm actually just decided I'm going to smash out the YouTube and I'm not going to worry about the editing because my vlogs are so behind. They're still in Europe summer last year. So yeah, you will see where I'm staying. I will be doing a cost breakdown and all my tips on Brazil because I know people are super interested. So that will be coming. Are you interested in learning Portuguese from Europadfoot? Yes, but it's so hard and I spend a lot of my time working and editing my videos and everything. My goal is to learn a phrase a day, so let's do my phrase that I learned yesterday when I was... Also, guys, I'm going to be on Brazilian news. Like, there was this huge news outlet called Global, and I did a huge TV interview with them for like 2 hours, so stay tuned for that. Oh my gosh, I wasn't looking at the comments. I thought we were just not commenting. She's in Rio de Janeiro, traveling different city. Rio is more dangerous than other places. It's important. Hello from America. Da, 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 da. When are we gonna be watching you on TV Global, guys? You won't believe it. I have no idea, but they said that was gonna like come out tomorrow, but they haven't messaged me. I think it's gonna be like fairly soon. I'm in Brazil. Yes. She fell in love with the kids. I fell in love with karaoke. What's wrong with that? You're Brazilian? No, not Brazilian. I think 90% of the chat want to flirt with you. You're beautiful. Da, 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 da. You're beautiful. Very good. Good morning. Oh my god, so many comments. So many comments. So many comments. Oh, I did not see what part of Ireland. I lived in Lahinch. Can y'all read my comments? Sorry, guys. I was just chatting. Okay, if you don't live in one favela, why go there? Nobody in Rio and you don't live in the favela, go there. Just if you want. I go in the favela to like, I don't know, see, like, it's a big part of Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Okay, back to the questions. Oh, my one Portuguese phrase. All my Brazilian followers do not come for me. I'm Dama junto. We are together. TMG. And qual é seu nome? What's your name? We're practicing. Okay, on to the next question. When are you coming to Puerto Rico? From A Cross King. Puerto Rico is where Bad Bunny's from. I can't lie, I do want to go. I feel like I've just done like so much of Europe, and now I've like unlocked South America, because I was just really nervous to travel South America solo as a girl who didn't speak Portuguese. And now that I feel like I've built that confidence, I feel like I've unlocked a lot of countries now, like Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, although I do know that one's really dangerous. But then again, you know what I mean? Like, this is what people tell you, and that's what people told me about Brazil. And then I've come here, and then, okay, it's not like the worst. So yeah. I'm bored, I need human interaction. In Portuguese, seem the best. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. Your favorite tourist attraction in Rio from your pad foot? You know what? It was the Two Brothers hike. If you're in Rio de Janeiro, you have to do that at sunrise. It was probably one of the best things I've ever done. Like, if you know New Zealand, Mount Maunganui is literally like that, but like even better. And like, they had a drone, and I really wanted to fly my drone, but because it's in a favela, they can only let the favela people fly their drone. But the sunrises there are so amazing. I almost want to do it again before I leave. So yeah, Two Brothers hike. If you're coming to Rio, make sure you do that. And make sure you do it for sunrise. Was there a place, things you wanted to go do in Rio but didn't have time for from your pad foot? Well, I extended my trip 4 times in Rio. So there was a lot of, you'll see in the YouTube vlogs, a lot of days where I'm like, oh my God, I have to do like 2 or 3 tourist attractions today because I'm leaving Rio in 2 days. And then I ended up being here for like 2 months. So I did not need to like rush. But I didn't know I was going to extend like that. And it was just very like, you know, spontaneous, and I just was like loving Rio so much, and my socials were growing. I was just like, okay, like I have like no job to go back to in Australia. I'm trying to build my online income, so I was like, financially I'm staying here and trying to build on this, you know. Okay, next question. What to do in Rio tonight, from Christy Boy. Well, tonight's Thursday. I'm actually just going to chill. I have a lot of work to do, and it's raining a lot, and I actually am just still like recovering from Carnival. I am just like so tired from that. I've been sleeping like crazy amounts, so I'm just having a chill night. But if it's a Monday, Pedro de Sal, if it's anything, honestly, Rio, any night you can find anything. Are you English? No, I'm from New Zealand, so yeah. Okay, not a question, but you've inspired me to go to Rio going in 2 weeks. Any tips, from Charlize Perita? I absolutely love that. Honestly, I'm so happy, and that's all I ever want to do, is to inspire girls or men or anyone to just take solo trips, because 3 years ago I took my first solo trip to Morocco, and it literally changed my life, because I've seen more countries now than with my friends, because I literally got the confidence to travel solo. And people always ask me, like, do you get lonely? And honestly, like, not really. Like, I'm very content, and I'm very good at like my own company, and I'm kind of like my own best friend. I also have a lot of passion for video editing and photo editing, so when I'm not out touristing taking photos, I'm back in the hostel editing my content, and editing my content brings me so much happiness. Though I am hitting like a point now in 3 months in South America where I'm like, oh, I would love to travel with someone and like get content with someone. So I'm actually going up to the north, and the karaoke guy is coming with me for like 4 days, which will be super exciting. And then he's coming back to Rio, and then I'm gonna do the north on my own. Oh my God, it's really raining right now. Kiwis are less versions than Aussies. Da 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 da. All right, so super happy you're coming here on your own, solo in Rio. Any tips? My tips would be to get things for your phones, get cords, also get like your content backed up if you have a lot of content. Get like double verification. I made sure before I left Australia I got all my codes, passwords and all that like set up, because I was worried. But I actually feel like the phone stealing is way worse in London. Honestly, I would see a lot more phone snatching in London than I have in Rio. What else? My tips would be just talk to the locals, learn a little bit of Portuguese, and honestly just come here, and when you're here you will learn as you go. When I first got to Rio, my first 6 days weren't that good, because I was kind of very on edge. I was working out my surroundings. I was like, oh, thank you so much, Renike the North, for your generous $2. That will go towards a coffee. I think like when you get here, you will learn on the go. So I can say give you tips, but once you're here, you will learn and go like as you go. Just be careful with your phone, but don't listen to people on the internet because they will say, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. But the locals are actually really like helpful to tourists. Brazil has a new queen from Benny P. Ooh, that's me. Let me have a lolly stop. I don't know where you guys are from, but in New Zealand we call these lollies, and in England they call them candies. But in New Zealand, candies is like hard candies. So this is like soft, so it's a lolly. Okay. Favela. Yeah, it's a favela. All right. Candies in Canada. Oh, interesting. Yeah, candies, no, it's lollies. Lollies. Oh my god, I need to get this. We don't call it candies, we call it sweeties. Where do you call it sweeties? Okay. Next. Okay, that's the second screenshot. I literally got like 7 screenshots of this, so we're gonna keep going past. Oh, we done that one? Okay, other way. Okay, next, guys, we got so many questions. Sweets in England. Lollies in Ireland too. Okay. I'm actually really intrigued about all this because there was a lot of times I was in the UK and I'd be like, oh, let's go get some lollies, and they'd all be like, lollies is in that like ice lolly, like, you know, like a ice block, and I'd be like, it's not a lolly. Like a lolly is this. Are you married? No. Okay, next one. Why don't you just move to Brazil? From Bianca Blocco. Because I just moved my whole life back from London, back to Sydney. I have an apartment there, and I've been in Brazil, once I leave Brazil, 4 months. So that will be a really long time. I'm going to go back to Australia, work on an online business and a social media agency so that I can return to Brazil next summer for like 3 or 4 months. So that's the plan. I would love to move to Brazil, but I just need to be with my dad for a bit, so that's the priority. I really want to build an online business so I don't have to go back to a 9-to-5 job, so that I can see him like a lot when I live in Australia, just because I'm making money online. So that's the plan, but definitely coming back to Brazil for next Carnival, like 1000%. Like, it was so fun. What type of business? It will be a social media agency, so managing people's social media accounts, businesses, and stuff like that. I've built a really good audience on my own personal, and it's also what I used to do in London for finance companies. So I have like a very good knowledge about social media. Is this Brazil? This is Brazil. Rio de Janeiro. Okay, on to the next question. Did you go to the Maracana Stadium, go watch a Flamengo game from Bruna Bout? So I actually really want to do that. There was actually a game on today, but I'm kind of happy I didn't go. So I have 10 days at the end of March when I'm going to be back in Rio, and I think I want to go to a game then. So it's definitely, that is on the list to do. That, and there was like sunrise paddle boarding. Those are 2 things I really wanted to do before I left Brazil. Fiesta de Favelas, donde recomendas? From Revenger09. So we did go to Vidigal favela, and they were having like a favela party, but then we arrived and they were like R$100 to like get in, and we were like, we thought it was free. So then we went to a rooftop part in Vidigal, which was really nice, and that we had like such a nice bar and had such a nice view. So we went there, but there is a lot of favela parties when you're here. I have a lot of friends that like live in the favelas, so I just like ask them and they take me. I went to a few favela parties like in the non-touristy areas, and they were super like interesting because they had a lot of like stuff there. You couldn't like take videos or anything, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm living life on the edge. How old are you? I'm 27. What's the best thing about Rio? From Bruno Bout. I would say like the energy, the passion. I feel like any day here feels like so fun. It's like there are so many parties, there's the beaches, and like summer here is so fun. Like you go down to the beach and there's so many people there, everyone there is so good looking, and you're just like, I don't know, drinking capuchinos, which is so cheap, and they get you so drunk, and it's just like almost not living in like reality. Like I don't know, I feel like when I was in Rio de Janeiro, I was just like so fun, and I just like love the energy of Brazilians. They're like so passionate, they love their culture, they love their country, and it really like shows. So yeah. What are your plans after leaving Rio? From Letizia Pelli. So I want to go back to Australia. We playing COD, Hop On Gang. I don't know what that is. I'm going to go back to Australia and build my social media agency so I can work remotely, and that's the plan, to come back to Brazil next summer and be here for like 3 or 4 months, get like an Airbnb and like literally live here. I just think that would be so cool to say I've done, and I'm 27, so you know, I'm single, and I don't know, I just feel like there's not many opportunities in your life you'll get to do this, and so many people, oh, I want to do this, but they never do it, and I'm like the kind of person that'll be like, I'm going to do it. Let me just check my data, because I'm actually on data and I don't want to see that I'm going over. So I could not get the... Okay, I haven't got a text saying I've gone over. Oh my god, one of my friends I think is on my YouTube live and she said #1 fan. Let me see. Let me see. Oh my god, I'm on 2%. Oh, okay, I hope this doesn't... I'm going to get my charger. 1 second. Oh, don't tell me. I need my key. Oh, I need my key to get into my thing. Oh, okay. I have to get my key. 1 second. I'll answer the questions in the thing. Does Brazilian salmon taste like pineapple? Okay, maybe I won't answer the questions in the screen. Because I'm on 2% on my other phone. Sorry. No, everyone's dropped off the live. We're coming back. Are you in a mall? No, I'm in my hostel. In really timed, so really happy about that. Okay, back on the questions. Thank you to everyone who stayed. Okay. Screenshots. Where did we get up to? Come to New York City. Brazil has new queen. Okay, this one. Tell us a little bit about your family. I have 3 older brothers, and I have a dad and a mum. My mum lives in New Zealand. My dad lives in Australia. 1 brother lives in New Zealand, and 2 brothers live in Australia. My family's super conservative, so I actually don't like to share a lot of them online, especially with my audience growing a lot more. I am more protective of that and more like respectful of that. They don't have social media. They also don't really like my social media. They don't like me being on social media. So I've got to like be respectful of that. So I don't really share a lot of my family on my socials. I would like to, but yeah, that's that. Grew up in New Zealand, and then was in New Zealand, and then I moved to Australia on my 18th birthday. I was there for 2 years, and then I moved to Canada for 2 years. I met my ex-boyfriend there, who was Irish, and I originally was meant to go to London, but I was like, okay, I won't go to London. Like, I had a super stressful 2 years in Canada. I'll move to Ireland because that way I can still travel to Europe, but Ireland's cheaper, and I am so happy I did that, because if I went to London when I was meant to, I would have hit London in COVID, and it just wouldn't have been the same, because I wouldn't have been able to survive. I would have left London, and there was always a dream for me to live in London and like travel Europe, and I did that for 3 years, and I'm so happy I did. But I feel like that chapter is definitely closed. Like, just even having this weather, and I'm like, this reminds me of London, I just cannot do it, and I feel like I forget London. That is literally what my dad says. And on this trip, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I want to go back to London. Like, I don't really have a life back in Australia. Like, all my friends are in London. Like, everyone I talk to every day is in London. And then my dad obviously had the problems he did while I was overseas again in Brazil. And I was like, you know what? Like, it like hit me like a ton of bricks. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm going back to Australia after this trip. Like, I'm going back to him. Whereas if I was going back to London, I honestly probably would have packed up my things and left. So I feel like it's so weird, because I feel like in a weird way, I'm this big, like, I'm not spiritual, but I am in a way, because I feel like it was so hard for me to make that decision. It was so hard for me to make that decision. Made my decision to leave London, and then this has happened. It's like given me closure that I made the right decision. Like, it literally gave me closure. Bottle of water. For the person who wants me to say it. You should meet Pippa / Ari in an amazing beach